Yes, yes. We actually got Wrekonize from Mayday on the phone right now. He just managed to get a second to chat with us. So how's it going, man?
What up, man? How you doing? Good to be out here.
Yes, yes. You're in Canada now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had a couple of days off in Edmonton to just relax. So we went and hit that big mall right now, you know, did a little bit of sightseeing, rode a roller coaster, you know, just took in some vibes, and then we're back on it. Show start again tomorrow.
Nice, nice. Every time I go to Edmonton, I miss out on the roller coaster because I always show up like an hour or two before they close, just getting in, and then have to leave in the morning. I never get a chance to hit the roller coaster. I'm gonna have to make sure to make that happen because I seen your posts today. Just the pictures of you guys in there look like you were having fun. Yeah,
man, that's cool. It's definitely worth riding at least one time.
Word up. So how have the shows been so far, rocking out in Canada? Started on the West Coast in Vancouver, and you're working your way across.
Yeah, we set it off in Vancouver, which is great. I mean, Mayday's been working on getting out to Canada for years now. We almost went on Tech Nine's last tour with him when he came through, and last minute it ended up falling through for us. So it's just been something that's been in the works for a while. So we opened up in Vancouver, and it was smashed. It was a really good show. Great vibe, and then we did one in Kamloops, so it was also cool, and then we did one in Red Deer, and the show ran a little late, but other than the technical difficulties with the schedule, everything was also good, and the vibes have been really, really cool out here. Everyone's been showing us a lot of love.
Word up, that's dope, that's good to hear. Yes, Canada gets wild, man. You guys got some good music. I'm glad that you got a chance to get up here. We've had a problem lately with like artists not getting a chance to get across because of border issues and stuff like that. So it's good that you guys were able to get across and make it with no problems.
Yeah, I've heard of such things. Yeah, luckily most of our crew is fairly good when it comes to that kind of stuff, and luckily everyone was cleared to go through.
That's dope. Well, you got a good company behind you. Audiomatic, the people putting this together, they're definitely very good with their paperwork and made sure that everything went smooth for you guys. Looking forward to getting you over here in Ontario. You're working your way across now. You got Edmonton, and then you got a few other cities in between. Then you're going to be hitting Ontario. Bunch of dates here in Ontario, and you're going to be here right in Guelph on July 17th. Looking forward to getting a chance to see your set. Have you ever had a chance to travel up here? I know you like touring and stuff. This is probably first time, but have you ever been up to Canada before?
Yeah, actually, funnily enough, before I joined Mayday, when Mayday was just two members, back in '06, when they dropped their first album, we were on a tour in the States, and they ended up having a record release at a club in Vancouver. So I tagged along and just kind of like walked around in Vancouver for the day. So I was there for once, one day, 7 years ago, whatever it was. And then I also, my stepfather's from Montreal, so I've been to Montreal a couple times just on some family trips.
Dope. Montreal's a nice place. So
yeah, some good vibes. But luckily, luckily we're finally getting here to do some shows because I've always wanted to come up here and do shows, and it's just been overdue, For sure. That's dope to get you a chance to get up here and rock out. You definitely had a good introduction, though, Vancouver and Montreal. Good way to start it off. One thing I want to talk to you about a little bit is the first time I've had a strange music artist on the phone with me. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the label itself. Everybody talks about it as one of the biggest independent powerhouse labels in the industry, and just the relationship that Tech has with a lot of the artists and the artists within the group. You know what I mean? A lot of cross collaborations between different artists on the label and stuff like that, where it feels more like a family as opposed to other record labels where it's just strictly for business. If you can speak on that just a little bit, what it's been like since your first days becoming a member of Strange Music, and how it's been through your years there. Oh man, yeah, it's definitely what I find rare about it is that I've been in the music business for a long time, and you meet a lot of different characters, and not everyone is always as friendly and as nice as you'd hope they'd be. Mm-hmm. So you run into egos, and you run into attitudes, and you run into the whole spectrum. And what I find amazing about Strange Music is there's a lot of artists on the label, a lot of talented people, a lot of crew, a lot of staff. And everybody top to bottom is just like very genuine, very good vibes, all the way from Tech, down all the way to the people who work in the office, or even interns. Like, it's just like a really good vibe there. They created a very like family atmosphere, and and it worked out really well for us because everyone in Mayday is pretty much along the lines of that as well. So we fit in good, even though we're one of the groups that are not really from the area where a majority of the artists are from. They're all from the Midwest. So, Tech does a really good job of setting a good example of being, the top flagship artist of the label, but yet he's very down to earth, very generous, very cool, and just treats the game with a level of respect that you don't often find when you run into artists that have that much stature. So, it's been fun learning from him, and we've learned a lot in the last 3 and a half years, and luckily we've been able to repay him back by producing some records that did well for him and have done well for the label as well. So we're just trying to do our part, man, and it's definitely been it's been a joy to work with everybody at Strange. It's like you said, it's a family atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. That's dope to hear. That's really, really dope to hear, like straight from the artist, because you hear it on the outside, but hearing it from someone who's right there in the midst of it, good vibes all around from all the people, top to bottom. That's a beautiful thing. It's great when you're working at a job where everybody around you is supportive and it's a loving and happy environment to be in. So you're not ever waking up like, why I don't want to do this today. You know what I mean? You've got
most definitely. Yeah. No, it's definitely from the first few times we got it involved with everyone at the label to doing 94 shows in 105 days. Like breaking records for consecutive hip hop tours in the States with them. Like we've you have your days. Every job has its days where you're feeling a little strained and stressed and stuff. But most of the time, the personnel that we get to work with makes it a real joy.
Word up. That's dope. And I wanted to talk also on just how much, because you were saying, Tech is the flagship runner, the guy who's like on the front line, really putting it out there for the label and helping everybody else get on. What is it like seeing his work ethic and his drive, like firsthand, getting a chance to see him on a day-to-day basis, wake up and just grind, and how many shows that he books? Like you just threw that stat out there, 94 shows in 105 days. That's unheard of through most artists in the industry. What is it like kind of seeing him setting that example of just this straight, drive, work hard, pays off type attitude? How has that affected you as an artist and you guys as a group?
It's inspiring, man. It's really like at the base level, it's like nothing more I can say than it's just very inspiring. And him and Travis, who's his business partner, for those who wouldn't know, they've created such a good balance of a man who knows how to do business very well and knows how to organize things and make everyone happy who's working with the company. And then on top of that, you've got Tech, who has just a work ethic that is unmatched, really. So it's inspiring because you just you hang around him and you realize that you just could be doing so much more every second of every day. So you're just like, all right, I need to get on his level. It's just always nice to have someone around you that challenges you to push further. You never want to feel like you're the one working the hardest. Like, it's always nice to feel like you are working hard, but if you got someone that's showing you like, oh yeah, you're doing a great job, but check out this real quick, and you're like, oh man, all right, I need to be going triple as hard, and that's what you get with Tech. You get somebody who just makes it look so fun and makes it look so easy, and does so much work. The guy is just a machine. So it's inspiring, and it keeps you on your toes.
That's dope. I like that. I like hearing that. I just heard a recent interview with him on the Juan Epstein podcast where he was talking about touring for the first time, or one of his first times, and like going out to perform in front of crowds where, it might have been 7 people and like 2 of them were the security guards that they brought with them. You know what I mean? And that was like the first starting out. And then they came back to that city and it was maybe 50 people. And then they came back again and it was 100 people, then 200. And now they're packing stadiums, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 heads in some of these places. If you can a little bit like share some of those humbling experiences as an artist first starting out, what was it like for you on the road? It's nice to be able to come up to Canada now when you guys are on Strange Music. You've got a big fan base already. You got the Strange Music fans and coming out to shows. Like there's going to be some heads that are coming out, but what has it been like for you on the come up years ago, just doing your first shows? What was that feeling like to be able to be like, okay, I can see the future in this industry, and I can see, later on, and if I just keep going and keep grinding, what it'll turn into. But what were some of those first experiences like being on the road?
Man, yeah, I guess the beauty for me is I've been doing music for 10 plus years, and I did the MTV battle in '03 when I was 19, and everyone in the Mayday crew has like been doing music for so long that we were able to we had signed already to another label back in '05, '06, so we've gone through what it's like to be signed. We've gone through what it's like to drop an album. So once we got the Strange, we had some experience to know, what not to take for granted and what to take advantage of and all of that. So we were able to go through our own grind, do some tours where, you're performing for a handful of people or staff of the bar or whatever, and it's empty, and then jump on a tour with Tech and do, 4,000 people in Denver, or do, a couple thousand people in Salt Lake City, and just do massive, massive shows. And then the trick there is to like come off that tour and don't get your head blown up too much and think, okay, that's a goal. That's something we can set to shoot for. Now let's go back and continue to grind on the numbers that we have. And I think everybody in our crew, from everyone in our band and our management, our whole team is just really good at keeping their heads screwed on their shoulders where it comes like, staying grounded and being like, okay, cool, now we got work to do. So we've done a few tours with Tech, and then we've come out and just done our own run, and it makes you definitely like appreciate it when people come out to your shows. So now, you never take anything for granted. We go and do a show, we come out to a city we've never been to in Canada, and like there's 300 kids in there that are like screaming and packing up a club, and we're just like thankful for every one of them,
Definitely. That's what's up. That was a wicked answer. I like how you threw that all together. Staying grounded is so key at the end of that, you know what I mean? And coming home and recognizing, like, having that humbling attitude to just keep going, keep grinding away. Like, yeah, this was a fun experience, but not every day is there going to be 1,000 or 2,000 screaming fans for you. You got to work to get to that point. And, you guys are building, you're on the way right now to, I think, definitely getting those kinds of numbers coming out to a Mayday show for sure. Just from the feedback that I've heard from the West Coast already with your performance, from what I've heard before, and the music that I've heard, you guys are definitely, on that path. So I hope you guys continue grinding. You've got the new album, Future Vintage, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, dropping August 21st.
Can you speak a little bit on the album, what it was like creating it, and how it feels now coming closer to the release of it?
It's been an interesting album for us because a lot has been changing in our group. Some of the members have been having kids. We've had some members that used to produce a lot, producing a little bit less now, and you have people that weren't producing as much and were just part of the live show, doing a lot more production. Me and Burns have been trying to step up our production, Burns in particular. It's just like a lot of things shifting around, but still the same vibe and still the same code of ethics that we started the group on and the group was founded on. So it's there was moments for me personally where we were going through the process and it just felt strange to me. It just felt so like everything was shifting and changing, and we were still doing what we do, but it's just like nothing was solid, nothing was for certain in terms of like what we've done on the past albums. So it was like exciting and scary at the same time, which is nice because you never really want to get too comfortable, and like that's when things get monotonous and then you just start phoning it in. So it was kind of nice to have the ground pulled out from under us a little bit and try to find our footing again, and I think what ended up resulting was definitely going to be one of our best albums to date.
Awesome. That's great to hear. It's good to have that happen sometimes, though. You got to get the rug pulled out from underneath you and make you feel a little shaky for a second there, because you don't want to get too comfortable in this industry.
Yeah, never that, man. Never that. Every day's a blessing, bro. So we just try to take the best advantage of it, and then come out with things that people still enjoy.
Word up. That's dope. Looking forward to hearing the album. One thing I wanted to ask before we get off here, what is it like in the music process when you're creating your album? Now you're getting this one finished. Are you guys already thinking next album? Are you already stashing songs for that? Or is it something like we focus all our energy on just getting this project done? Once it's finished, then we can think about what's coming up next. What is your kind of creative process? And I know you're a solo artist as well, so how does that mix in with doing the group stuff and then finding time to work on your own material?
Yeah, that can be a little tricky, but luckily everyone in the group is really good at handling that kind of stuff. I was able to record the first solo album I did for Strange at the same time we were recording an album for Mayday. So that's saying a lot in terms of just keeping it together and no one wanting to kill me or me wanting to kill myself. It was relatively smooth. It was stressful, but it never got to a point where I think a lot of other groups or bands might have gotten to, and we were able to put out 2 albums within the space of a month of each other, and they were both two full-length albums. So for me, I just try to find the space when it's good and wherever my slot is without stepping on toes, and making sure that now everyone is starting to put out projects as well. Burns is working on a project, Gianni's working on a project, so now it's just for me to find my slot where it's good for me and make sure everyone gets their swing on putting something out that they want to put out. And then the cool part about Mayday for us is that when it comes to making music, it's just really we just treat it like a job. We just go in every day. And majority of us will be in the studio at least every day, like a shift. You just go into your job and clock in, we make some music, we clock out, and that's it. Some days are longer than others, some days are shorter than others, but we try to at least make music every day when we're at home, and a lot of times on the road. For this last album, we recorded 2 or 3 of the records were recorded in hotel rooms on the road. We were finishing up the album, we didn't feel it was done, and we were on tour, so we just knocked them out in hotel rooms wherever we could find a quiet spot. So it's really just kind of we like to make music no matter what, and then try to find slots here and there as we start to form projects. So there's always kind of a focused time, okay, we're starting to really map out the album, and here, this is the project, and this is what this could be for, but we're always just making music, so the catalog continues to grow regardless of a deadline or not.
That's dope. That's dope to hear. Even getting it in hotel rooms, I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Actually, two of my favorite tracks on this album are actually from those runs where we did them last minute, kind of in the hotel room, they were the closers, and they ended up coming out real smooth, and they actually ended up being 2 of my favorite records, which is funny.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, you got to have that work ethic. Go in, like you said, when you're at home, clock in. It's a job. You got to take it serious. You're not just, gonna one day make some music and then become famous. You got to go in and put in those hours. And even when you are catching a little bit of fame and some success, you still got to be on that grind, clocking in those hours. And what's that studio session like? I'm sure the Mayday studio session, there's not many people just relaxing. It's probably a lot of productivity going on, right?
Well, we try to mix it up. I mean, we work so much that I think that there's a little bit of relaxing has to enter in there somewhere, whether it be a little bit of drinking, some smoking, some Xbox, some kind of extracurricular activity. We have some things going on in Miami around our studio, so we can always kind of just step outside and, catch a breath or go to a Marlins game or, just, do whatever's popping just to kind of get the blood circulating. But, most of the time, yeah, it is, we get in there and try to make it as much of a party vibe as we can, but everyone has different schedules, so that the studio will be active from noon, as early as noon, 10 in the morning. Sometimes these guys will go in, and then I like to go in a little bit later, so we end up running the gamut of the whole schedule. During the whole day from start to finish, you got somebody in there doing something, and then people just kind of tag in and tag out, and then we'll jump on the Xbox and have a couple games of 2K and talk crap to each other, and then just go jump back on it and try to finish the record after that.
That's dope. That's dope. I like to see that, just keeping clocking it in. I run a studio here in Guelph, and I like to keep the same thing going, make sure that somebody's in there at all times. You might as well use it. It's available, right? Record and get it done.
100%, man. 100%.
That's what's up. Well, looking forward to connecting with you when you get out here to Guelph on the 17th. We're also going to be in London together on the 24th and Hamilton on the 25th. You've also got a bunch of other dates around here: Niagara Falls, Sarnia, Toronto. It's going to be wild, man. Looking forward to catching you when you get over here into Ontario.
Likewise, man. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Much respects, brother. Thank you so much for the interview. Thanks for taking your time, and looking forward to connecting with you when you get out here.
Likewise, man. Appreciate you. Are you on Instagram? Do you guys have a page on Instagram that we could tag up?
Just my own personal one is just Robbie G Music. So if you want to hit that up, bam.
Okay. We'll do.
Awesome. Much respects, man.
All right. Likewise, man. We'll see you when we get over there.
All right. Take care.
Easy.
Peace.